wait is over. 60,000 fans finally ready to rock Autzen Stadium as the Oregon Ducks become the last Division I team to start their season. Kellen Clemens and Demetrius Williams are back to lead Oregon's powerful offense and try to continue their rise back to national prominence. Passion, emotion, intensity. That is college football at Autzen Stadium, Oregon and Indiana, and it's coming up next. Welcome to Autzen Stadium. Another sellout crowd anticipated for a big matchup today, an interconference matchup. The Big Ten against the Pac-10, the Indiana Hoosiers and the Oregon Ducks here in Eugene. Hi everyone, I'm Joe Giansante along with Anthony Newman, and some teams have played 2 games, some have even played 3. Oregon still ready to play their first game. Finally they get it going, and this team looks very good in camp.
Well, this game is huge for both teams. Indiana would love to come to Autzen Stadium and pull the biggest upset in the nation. Oregon, Joe, they're tired of hitting each other. Let's hit somebody else.
Yeah, they really want to get going. They had a great camp, as I mentioned, and Kellen Clemens had a great camp. Of course, with this Oregon offense, it's really all about the quarterback and how he plays.
Clemens is a great quarterback. He has a great arm. He can scramble. He's a smart quarterback. But what I like about Clemens, Joe, he's a leader, and the guys want to follow him. The guys respect Clemens. That's what you have to have at the quarterback position, respect.
And I think maybe the biggest thing is he really understands his role this year. No more sharing this and sharing that. He knows this is his team. Last year in his opener, a big game, 14-21, 3 early touchdowns against Mississippi State. You would expect he would be very ready to go today. Also, on the defensive side of the ball, I know that Haloti Ngata is really ready to play this football game after missing all of last year after the injury against Mississippi State.
Joe, he's like a tiger in the cage waiting for somebody to open the door. I mean, he's weighing 345, a good solid 345. Adam Hines is the offensive guard against Haloti. Adam Hines better be strapped up today to play.
Look for double teams all day on Haloti Ngata. Now, when you look at the Indiana football team, tough year last year, finished last in the Big Ten, but they've got some players that can really do it. They're a Big Ten team. They want to run the ball, try to pound it. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis is going to try and do that.
Well, he's a great running back. He's a true sophomore. He played a lot as a freshman, a lot of experience. He's 5'11", 220 pounds. A big guy, Joe. He likes to run north and south. He will touch the ball 25 times a game.
They will also run out of the quarterback position, and that's Matt LeVecchio, the quarterback who can get it done on the ground. He had a little trouble last year throwing the ball, though. He transferred from Notre Dame. You might remember him when he started for Notre Dame against Oregon State in the 01 Fiesta Bowl. But last year, 3 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Well, the thing about Matt, he was recruited by Notre Dame. He's a good football player. But the thing about it, he's not coming in to win this football game. He's going to hand the ball off. He's going to have short passes, play a smart game.
He'll have to handle this crowd, but Indiana's not going to be intimidated. They play in the big house in Ohio. They're ready for it, but this crowd's ready to bring it as well. Finally, Oregon football is here, everyone. The Ducks and the Indiana Hoosiers at a sold-out Autzen Stadium. Let's play some football. It's coming up next. Today's game is brought to you by Oregon Community Credit Union, who invite you to join today and organize your life. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Pacific Source Health Plans, discover the source. Your Northwest Dodge dealers, grab life by the horns, Dodge. Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. By Mart, your Northwest membership discount store, now employee owned. Carl's Jr., try the new guacamole bacon charbroiled chicken sandwich, new at Carl's Jr. Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real, it's all here. And by Allstate Insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hi, this is Bob Lorenz, host of This Week in Football. Join me along with Tiki Barber, Keith Byers, Howard Cross, Gary Myers, and Larry Pasquale on a new season of This Week in Football.
This Week in Football, Wednesday at 9:30, only on Yes.
Moments ago, the Oregon Ducks take the field. Finally, the Division I team to finally take the field, the last one, Anthony, and here come the Ducks as they get ready to take on Indiana here on the Oregon Sports Network. here in Eugene, Oregon. A crowd of nearly 60,000 on hand. And this place is rocking, Anthony, as we get ready to start this season.
Joe, you can hear the excitement in the air. I'm telling you, they are excited for this football game.
Today's weather, right now, it's a little bit muggy. 69 degrees right now. Humidity 34%. There is a chance of rain as I look west, though. It looks better than it looked earlier in the day. So I think as we move on in the afternoon, the forecast is for less moisture as the day moves on. We have not had rain for a couple of hours. Of course, roaming the Oregon sidelines, the dean of Pac-10 coaches, entering his 10th season. The biggest winning percentage by an Oregon football coach, Mike Malati, roaming the sidelines again, Anthony.
Joe, he's one coach that knows how to get his teammates, his players prepared to play games. For 10 seasons, his team is ready to play, always in that first game.
And I'll tell you, the guy on the other side of the field's been around a little bit as well. Vanderbilt, LSU, coach in the XFL, Coach DiNardo knows how to play big games. They've been in some big games. They beat Illinois last year, beat Northwestern.
Well, I was down in New Orleans. I was playing with the Saints when he was with LSU, and he had a lot of success at that program. He's a good coach.
LSU with a couple of back-to-back bowl games under Coach DiNardo back in the day. As we get ready and have the flip of the coin going on right now, let's send it down to Mike Burke now, who has some information about the weather and what we can expect today. Mike?
All right, Joe, as you know, the Pacific Northwest got a pretty good soaking last night, a rare September rain shower. But this is the field turf surface installed by the university 2 years ago. And really, it stands up to the rain very, very well, virtually drying as it gets rained on. So the Ducks will not do anything different in terms of their spikes today. Everything is the same. The one on your far left is the more sleek design for the speed guys, the receivers and the running backs, and the big guys wear the big soles. So nothing in terms of different footgear for the Ducks today. So this field turf holds up to the rain very, very well. I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. We'll continue to watch the weather all day as we approach kickoff. And Anthony, I don't know, it feels like November to me, ready for some football.
Well, you know, last year every game was sunny, Joe. This is the first time we had some clouds, but you know, that's part of football.
Absolutely.
A little bit of sprinkle, a little bit of wet field, and some clouds. That's what I know football as.
Let's take a look at today's Northwest Dodge dealers. Keys to the game, Anthony, some things that you think Oregon needs to do to win this game, or Indiana for that matter, control the line.
Well, Oregon has to control the line of scrimmage, both offense and defense. Those big guys in the middle, they got to take control of the game. The next thing they have to do is minimize penalties. This is the first game out of the chute, so mistakes will be making, but you got to minimize those penalties. And the last thing that has to happen on defense, Joe, is no big plays, no 60-yard passes, no 40-yard runs. Control, make Indiana go the long haul.
Try to make them earn everything they get. The fans come to their feet as we prepare for kickoff. Kicking the ball off for the Indiana Hoosiers is Brian Robertson, and deep for Oregon is Kenny Washington and Terrence Whitehead. Kenny Washington, as you see him right there, number 20, the all Pac-10 returner from a year ago. Had that big touchdown against UCLA. Kenny Washington a little stronger this year, Anthony, a little more muscle to it.
Kenny Washington has some speed. He is a threat when the ball is in his hands, Joe. A serious threat.
And here we go at Autzen Stadium, the 2004 Oregon Duck football season about to begin. We think it could turn into something very special. We're about to see if it gets started on the right foot. The kick from Robertson is a good one. It's going to be returned from the goal line. Here comes Washington, almost falls down. Through the middle, now has a seam. A flag is down. A flag is down. 40, 50, 40. He will take it to the end zone. Chase from behind to the 10 and into the end zone, but a flag is down. There is a flag down at the 26-yard line.
Well, when there's a flag right in the middle of the field, Joe, it's always usually holding. I think it's holding against Oregon.
And it's a block in the back on Oregon. It's going to come back. So what a way to start the season as you see him hug Allen Amundsen there. And now we just found out, I think, that there's a penalty. And what a huge, huge break for Indiana to start this game.
Oh, a huge break. But what that does, though, is it gives Oregon a lot of confidence. Even though it's a penalty, hey, I said there was going to be some penalties in the game, but they took it to the house. That was huge for Kenny Washington.
How about that? The last time, back in, I believe, '98, when Saladin McCullough returned the opening kickoff of the season against Arizona for a touchdown. And this one would have been just as exciting. Looks like Gordon needs to work on his microphone, but You see the penalty called there. The penalty was actually called by the official trailing the kicker.
Yeah.
So it wasn't by anybody that was down in that area. Trailing the play, it was thrown right away. Let's take another look at it, Anthony, see if we can see anything. Right in the middle of the field.
To the right, it looked like it's clipped in the block, in the back, right there. Oh, there was two. There's another one even to the far right. But the speed of Kenny Washington, I mean, look at that speed. Takes it all the way for 6.
And so Oregon starts, and Anthony talked about minimizing penalties. They have not run an official play yet, and they have 2 penalties. This one is a motion penalty.
They're going to have penalties at the beginning of the season, but you have to minimize. You got to cut back. You got to be smart.
False start, Oregon. Number 88. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Wow, from one end of the emotional ladder to the other, Anthony, when you take a kickoff all the way back to start the opening season, it gets called back, and then before you even run a play, you got another penalty.
Well, these guys are so excited, Joe, to play. I mean, they've been caged up, and they're excited. But the thing about it, they have to control themselves at this time.
Ducks will start from their own 11 now, 1st and 15. Clemens going to throw to the outside, caught, and up the field to the 20-yard line. A nice catch there by Keith Allen, who's back and starting for this football team after missing a lot of time with injuries.
It's great to see Keith Allen come back. I mean, he was a huge success in the year before last. This year, he's going to be one of the go-to guys. A lot of people are going to think about Demetrius Williams. Keith Allen's going to be the man.
It's a gain of about 10 yards on the play. We'll call it 9, so 2nd and 6 coming up. Here to the lineups. Kellen Clemens at quarterback. Whitehead, Dante Rosario. Expect a big season out of him. Allen, Maxwell, Tim Day. And the offensive line as Oregon runs it on 2nd down. And they'll pick up a couple of yards. They'll set up a 3rd and 4. To finish up that thought on Oregon's offensive line, Anthony, a very experienced group. Everybody on that roster right there has played a lot of football.
A lot of football. There's 4 seniors on that roster right there on that lineup, and that's game experience. And I'll tell you what, you can't have that. The game is going to be very slow to them because of game experience.
Adam Snyder was even Pac-10 Player of the Week last year, the first time an offensive lineman had won that award. 3rd down and 3. Oregon trying to fight out of a hole after a couple of penalties. Clemens in the shotgun. Throws it out. Has Williams for the first down and out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Indiana has to know on certain situations that number 6, Demetrius Williams, will be the man who's going to catch the football. I mean, they should be double teaming that guy right from the start, Joe.
Take a look at Indiana's defense right now, and this is a very experienced group, Anthony. They have all of their front 7 back. Jody Clemens, the star of this group.
Jody Clemens is a man among boys. I tell you, he's a good football player.
And Kyle Killian, his dad played for Oklahoma. He's playing good football. And Hernandez Jones, that's how it's pronounced, folks. The free safety to watch in the secondary. 1st and 10 for Oregon at the 32-yard line. Clemens, little play action, now some pressure, and he's going to go down, or is he fumbling it? I'm not sure if they're calling it a fumble or a pass. They're calling it a fumble. Indiana football. Indiana going in at the 25-yard line. And the fans are booing. I'm not so sure that wasn't an attempted pass, Anthony.
It looked like he was trying to throw the football. He was throwing it to, like, Nick Stites. He shouldn't be going to a lineman, but I don't think that was a fumble, Joe.
Let's take another look at it. There he's going down. I think he just kind of lost the handle when he was trying to go down with it.
We can see it better right here. He scrambles right here. Now, right here, I thought he was trying to throw the ball. But maybe he just lost it. Got hit from behind.
I think it's a good call. And Indiana with a 1st and 10 from the 25. A big break to start the game. Lavecchio going to hand it off to Green Ellis, and he'll plow forward for a yard or 2. But what a big break. Talk about breaks, Anthony, to start this game for Indiana. Here's their starting lineup. Lavecchio is the quarterback, of course. B.J. Green Ellis and John Panozzo is the big fullback from Greenwood, Indiana. Courtney Roby, the man to watch there. By the end of the season, he'll be the all-time leading receiver in Indiana history, and the entire offensive line is back from last year's team. 2nd down and 8 now. Lavecchio going to roll out. Here comes a little pressure now, and he's got room to run. Cuts it in and only pick up a couple of yards down to the 22-yard line. Aaron Gibbs coming up to make the play.
The defense is playing very smart, Joe, the Oregon's defense. It's that technique of you bend, but you don't break, and that's what's going on right now.
Oregon's defense, Chris Solomon on one end and Devin Long on the other. And there's Big Halote in the middle to stop the run along with Robbie Valenzuela. The linebackers, Ramon Reed, Jerry Mattson in the middle, Anthony Trucks. The secondary should be much improved. Aaron Gibson had a tremendous camp, J.D. Nelson, the son of Darren Nelson, the Stanford great, is the free safety. Third down, we'll call it 7. Fans bringing down a lot of noise here at the start. Lavecchio trying to call out the plays in the shotgun. Ducks going to rush 4 over the middle and incomplete. So the Ducks hold up after the offense is giving Indiana a big opportunity.
Well, I'll tell you, that was good coverage by Aaron Gibson. We talked about Gibson being his comeback year. Everybody was looking at him as a freshman, as a sophomore, as is not a very good player, but I think he's going to be a good football player. He was all over that coverage right there on that last play, Joe.
And Bryant Robertson is in to attempt a 39-yard field goal. He was perfect last year inside of 40. He was only 2 of 8 beyond 40. This is right at the margin. And his kick is up, and it is good. And Indiana leads this football game 3-0. Just 3 minutes into it with 12:07 to go here in the first quarter. Indiana taking advantage. I mean, the defense held up, Anthony, but they still got 3 on the board.
Well, Indiana has to take those opportunities and run with them. When they fumble the ball and they have a good chance to do something, they got 3 points out of it.
So the team in white has struck first here against Oregon at Autzen Stadium. See if the Ducks can recover and get their season off to a little bit second start, a little redo coming up when we return to Autzen Stadium. Coach DiNardo feeling very good about a 3-point lead here against Oregon at Autzen Stadium. I'd like to welcome our affiliates, KEZI, KDRV in Medford, KDKF Klamath Falls, Comcast 14 in Portland. Those of you on the S Network on the Eastern Seaboard and around the country watching on ESPN Game Plan. Welcome to Autzen Stadium as we see another kick by Robertson. This one much deeper into the end zone, and Kenny Washington's going to have to kneel this one down, and Oregon will start at the 20-yard line.
I don't mean to laugh, Joe, but that's very smart. Should have done that the first time. Like, Kenny Washington, when the ball's in his hands, he's dangerous. As a kicker, you got to kick it out of the end zone.
So a lot's happened in just 3 minutes, Anthony. Oregon had a touchdown on the opening kickoff of the season, but it was called back for a block in the back. Looked to be a good call. And then a motion penalty. They fought out of that, got a first down, and then a fumble. One thing that you don't want to do with a team like Indiana, who finished last in the Big Ten, is give them hope that they can win the football game. The crowd's pretty quiet right now.
Right. You don't want them to see light at the end of the tunnel. And just 3 points, I don't know if there's enough light, but they're seeing something. There's
a run to the backfield. Whitehead trying to reverse field. Now he's got some running room. He can get away, but he can't. Good play by Hernandez-Jones making the stop. It's a loss of 3.
Jones is a very active free safety. Now, you don't want your free safety to lead the team in tackles, but I tell you what, Joe, he can make some plays. He's all over the football. He knows how to come up and make good tackles, good solid tackles. Terrence Whitehead's trying to make something happen. Clemens makes a great block right here. Take it for the team. Jones is too fast. Jones is a fast free safety. Good play by him.
So 2nd and 13 for Oregon. Long count. Now Clemens going to change the play at the line. 3 wideouts. Run it again to Whitehead, who just picks up back to the original, keeps fighting, and will pick up about 8 yards on the run, setting up a 3rd and 5. Anthony, one thing we've noticed about Oregon all of last year, really under Andy Ludwig, they love to run the ball on 2nd and long.
Yeah, well, they want to establish the running game. They want to get some yards. So on that 3rd down, Joe, it's 3rd and short, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. The thing about it is Oregon has to develop a running game against this team. They want to control the clock. To control the clock, you have to have a running game.
So 3rd, and we'll call it a 6-yard pickup needed for the first down. That's Nate Leobrotten switching to the other side, and Indiana shows a blitz. Here they come. Clemens on the quick drop. It's caught for a first down. Marcus Maxwell has it. The Ducks have converted a couple of 3rd downs here in the early going, Anthony.
Well, Buster Larkins made a game-saving tackle on that one. A simple slant pattern, a nice 3rd and short play. And I tell you one thing, he was almost to the house. Runs a nice slant, looks the ball into his hands, and grabs onto the ankle and holds on. Otherwise, I think Maxwell would have had at least another 15 yards.
1st and 10 now for Oregon at the 33-yard line. High formation. Will shift out. Clemens now going to fake it. Broken play, but he's going to pick up some blocks and some yards. 40, 45 and out of bounds for the first down. Just a broken play. I think it was more about Indiana's defense than anything else. They knew what was coming.
Yeah, Indiana knew what was coming, but Clemens, that shows that game experience. He was very smart at that play. He said, hey, I'm not throwing this ball. I'm going to take it and get what I can get. He got a first down, Joe.
I think a little mixed up communication there. You can see him talking to Demetrius Williams. Oregon again with the TK on their helmet. You see there, that's in honor of Terrence Kelly, who was tragically killed, a recruit for Oregon who never did make it to Eugene. And this one's up the middle for a few yards. And Anthony, moment of silence earlier. We'll talk about that more later. But that's what the TK, in case you're wondering at home, is all about. In honor of Terrence Kelly. Kenny Washington now in the game at tailback.
With a guy with that kind of speed, you have to put him in the game. Give him an opportunity to make some plays. If he just finds, Joe, a little crease, he's gone. Just a little crease. That's all he needs.
Ducks have moved it into Indiana territory at the 49-yard line. Second, we'll call it 5 yards to go for Oregon. Right on the O. Ducks trailing it 3-0 here in the early going. And they'll hand it off to Washington again, looking for some room. Nothing there, and he'll go down after a loss of a yard.
What I like about this Indiana defense is they get to the football, Joe. These guys swarm the football, and that's what you have to do against a good running football team like Oregon. You have to get 9 and 10 guys at the point of attack, and that's what they're doing. Everybody's gathering to the football.
Third and 6. With 8:51 to go. Ducks are 2 of 2 on third down so far. Clemens going to throw it again. Looking downfield. He's got a man open, but Nate Leah-Broughton cannot bring it in. It would have been a first down, and now Oregon's going to have to punt the football.
Those balls that have to be caught, especially in that situation, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, you want to move the chains. As an offense, you want to keep your defense off the field. Move the chains. Move it on down the field. Missed opportunities right there.
Fourth and 6, Ducks will punt it. Standing back at the 35, and the kick is kind of a floater. It's going to come down and take an Indiana bounce at the 25 and go back to the 27-yard line. So 23-yard punt. That's been something that's been tough for Oregon. Paul Martinez fighting in camp to win the punting job back. He had it last year, but Oregon has struggled punting the football all camp, and it shows right there with a chance to pin Indiana back. A 23-yard punt to start at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, as a punter, though, that's your job. That's what you have to do. You have to get the ball down the field, try to get them backed up. When you do those short little kicks, okay, it shortens up that field for their offense.
Looking for a little trickery. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis up the middle for just a couple of yards. Anthony, I guess this is the first game. This is the first game jittery type stuff that coaches always talk about, that it's always great to have played a game that you wouldn't make some of these mistakes. You got a punting error, penalty on the kickoff return, some other penalties, drop passes, those types of things. Oregon has not been sharp so far.
Not yet, but I think those jitters, Joe, are gone by now. It's well into the first quarter. Everybody's playing offense and defense. There's still going to be mistakes made, but now they have to be smart football players right at this point.
2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line. LeVecchio in the shotgun formation, going to roll it out. Looks like he's going to run the option. He does, and he's hit hard and taken out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Aaron Gibson, once again, will be calling his name a lot this year.
What I'm noticing about this Oregon defense, Joe, is that they're playing very smart. I mean, right there, that's a disciplined play. Somebody has the pitch, somebody has the quarterback. Okay, you have to be disciplined. That's what Oregon is showing. They're playing very disciplined football players.
Third and 10. Crowd coming up right now. And LeVecchio's going to go back to the shotgun. Just going to rush 3. Little inside screen play, but Jerry Mattson is there, but he gets away. Pursuit comes in, and Indiana will have to punt. Oregon's defense looking very good so far.
Very good. Usually in a defense at the first part of the game, or the first game, the tackling is not so good. Oregon's doing a pretty good job of tackling. Jerry Mattson had a good play, just didn't finish the tackle. But that's always going to happen in the first game, Joe. A few missed tackles here and there. Jerry read the play right on the money. I mean, he knew it was a screen, a receiver screen, just didn't wrap up good enough.
So then he added to the line quickly to punt the football. There's the snap. And Aaron Gibson will return it. He'll take it at the 27-yard line, fumbles the ball, and it looks like Indiana may be on it. Let's see. They're going to unpile him here, and we'll see here in a second. Both teams pointing and saying they have it. We'll see here in a second. And Indiana has the football.
You're giving them some life. When you give them some life, Indiana right now is going to jump all over it. People thought this was going to be a cakewalk for Oregon, but it's not. You know, you still have to play the game, Joe. That's why they have the games. You got to play it. Gibson is back. He's looking at the ball. It hits his pads. As a punt returner, you do not want the ball to get to your pads. You want to catch it with your hand.
And now the defense once again placed in a tough situation. Indiana does not have a first down, but they lead it 3-0. They have 3 total yards, but lead it 3-0. And here's another big chance for the Hoosiers. Little option, little trick play. Roby inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Devin Long had a chance at him.
Devin Long had a great chance to make a great play, a tackle for loss. Talk again about missed tackles in the first game. Okay, Devin Long is not bringing his legs to make those tackles. You got to bring your legs to make a tackle, especially in the first game. All the jitters are still inside you. He read the play nice. He's right there. Travis Henley just made a great play Roby made a great play to spin out of the tackle and get some extra yards.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Roby in motion. They'll try to run it. On the outside, Green Ellis has some room. He's to the 10, 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. The Hoosiers on top, 9-0, and Oregon and this crowd absolutely stunned right now.
Well, there's a lot of light now. They feel that they can win this football game. And you see the few Indiana Hoosier fans that are yelling and screaming. Everybody's confident, hey, we're doing a good job in Autzen Stadium against the Ducks. And that's what they needed. They needed some life. They have confidence now, Joe, that they can win this football game.
Awaiting the point after that could give them a 10-point lead. I think this is a shocking start as the point after is up, and it is good. And Indiana leads it 10-0. Oregon with 2 turnovers already. I don't want to say they've handed them 10 points, but they sure have given them some great opportunities. This is not the way Oregon thought they would start the season, down 10-0 to Indiana.
All right, welcome back to Autzen Stadium, everyone. You know, you can chalk another one up for the Oregon marketing department. Last year, it was the Lightning Strikes campaign just before opening day. Now it's the All Ducked Out campaign. Over 10,000 T-shirts expected to be sold before the end of the weekend. That would be 10,000 in about 10 days, Joe.
Well, they're economical. They're only $7, and the benefit goes to the cheerleaders and the band so they can travel to the away games. But those fans right now are, I think, all bummed out because their team is down 10-0 after a whole game's worth of mistakes in just the first 9 minutes of this football game.
Well, their team needs to give them something to cheer about. They got the shirts on, but there's not a whole lot of yelling and screaming from these Oregon Duck fans, Joe.
It's exactly the start Indiana needed. Take the crowd out of the game, try to subdue this atmosphere, and they've done it. Another look at the scoring drive right here. The Carl Jr. scoring drive, just 2 plays, 30 yards. Green Ellis, the 19-yard touchdown run. And Indiana leads it. Both scores, the field goal and the touchdown, coming off of Oregon turnovers. And this kick is out of the end zone. That's going to be the best defense against Kenny Washington all day.
Well, you know, you talk about Oregon and they're down 10-0, but realistically, you watch them, even the offense and the defense. They've been moving the football. The defense, they've stopped Indiana, but bad breaks. You know, turnovers. Turnovers will kill you, and Indiana has taken advantage of those turnovers and put points on the board from those turnovers, Joe.
I think it gives this Indiana team a lot of confidence. I mean, they come in here and all of a sudden you get spotted a 10-point lead, take advantage of your opportunities, and You know, now you got a shot. Now you're excited and ready to go.
Oregon now is trying to, we hope they don't start pressing. You don't need to press in the first game.
Clemens going to go back to throw. Moves it to the outside, and Rosario is hit immediately after about a 4-yard gain. Let's see where they spot it. Kind of an arbitrary spot, I think, by the official, and takes it up near the 25-yard line. Dante Rosario, the tackle made again by Jones.
We're going to be calling Jones' name all day long. He's a very good football player, a great safety.
Ducks going to go with a little no huddle, try to mix it up here. As Clemens goes back to throw, this one throws it out again. Go back to the same play and pick up maybe 3 more yards. Another, I don't know if it's arbitrary. Just kind of trying to guess. He's looking across the other side of the field, and he puts the ball down.
At this point, the Ducks are trying to get the fullback involved. They want to spread the ball around, Joe, to a lot of different people. Throw it to the wideouts out wide, throw it to a tight end. Now let's give it to the fullback. This series, 2 times the ball's been thrown to the fullback, Dante.
3rd and 2 for Oregon now. 5:18 to go here in the game, or in the first quarter, excuse me. Back to throw. Gets downfield over the middle. Has Leah Brockton. He takes it as a hard hit from the 40-yard line. And a first down for Oregon.
Last time Nate dropped that football. This time, I don't think, Joe, he was going to drop that one. As you watch this, Clemens has nice protection right down the middle. He's looking to his option 1, option 2. There's Nate. Nate watches the ball into his hands this time, Joe. Makes a nice catch.
We do expect to see Tim Day this afternoon. He has been injured a lot, of course, and tweaked a knee during the week. Clemens now deep to throw. Looks downfield, got a man open, but it's overthrown over Demetrius Williams.
Those kind of passes, to highlight that, you usually see those at the very beginning of the game from a veteran quarterback. That's kind of odd that you see Clemens throw that ball. Demetrius was wide open on a cell pattern, just overthrew him.
So 2nd and 10 now. Ducks trying to come back now, trailing it 10-0 against Indiana here in the first quarter. 2 Oregon turnovers. And a little motion penalty, looks like, for the Ducks, and they'll move it back 5 yards. And boy, big difference between 2nd and 10 and 2nd and 15. Got to put the ball in the air now.
Illegal snap, offense, number 55. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
This game, I think we're going to keep talking about that little yellow hanky that keeps falling on the field against Oregon. They're going to have to, at one point, cut back on those penalties, because that's going to shoot you in the foot. And you don't want to also take those penalties into the next game. I know they're not thinking about the next game, but as fans and spectators, we are. Hey, you can't take that into the next game. Let's get rid of these penalties. Stop doing the penalties.
Anthony, there was such a fever pitch in this stadium when this game started, and now the life has just been sucked out of this place.
Someone took a needle and just popped the balloon.
2nd and 15. Clemens going to throw, looking downfield. They pressure behind. Short dump off. And they'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and 10. I've been surprised at the amount of pressure that Indiana's getting, Anthony. They're putting pressure on him.
Yes, they are. That pocket, Clemens is dropping back, and that pocket is closing very quickly on Clemens. He has to get rid of the ball, I think, sooner than he wants to. That's why it was just a little checkoff pattern right down the middle. But I think Clemens wanted to hold that ball a little longer to get the ball down the field.
Clemens is 7 of 9 for 53 yards so far. Many of those just short dump offs. 3rd and 10 now. Big 3rd and 10 here for Oregon on their own 40-yard line. Once again, here comes the blitz from the outside. He steps up, and he's going to be hit and dropped. And Indiana is taking it to the Ducks right now.
Well, I see Indiana doing all kinds of things now, Joe. They're just opening up the playbook. I mean, they're doing blitzes from the outside, blitzes from the inside. You know, they're up 10 points. Hey, let's just open up everything, and what's there to lose? Nothing.
Martinez back to punt again. And they're coming after it. This one he sends, and it's not hit very well at all. This one is shanked out of bounds and out at the 40-yard line, and that is a 19-yard punt. Counting it out, 19 yards on the punt for Paul Martinez, and Indiana is going to start in great field position again. Who's going to light the spark for this Oregon football team, trailing by 10 to Indiana? Welcome back, everyone. Oregon trailing 10-0 to the Indiana Hoosiers. And Anthony, the defense continually being put in bad position. Tough situations. You played a lot of defense in your day. What's that like?
Well, what you have to do at this point is look at yourself. Don't look at anybody else. Look at yourself and say, what can I do to help this football team?
Vecchio to throw, goes downfield and underthrown. Looking for Roby. Justin Finney on the coverage.
You know, the defense needs to make a big play. I mean, the offense is struggling a little bit. In the first game, offense usually struggles somewhat. But at the same time, the defense, hey, we can't get beat. We can't give them anything. Let's take something away from them. That's the ball.
Think about the differences between that one penalty that started this game. You'd seen an Oregon touchdown. It would have made it 7-0 on the return. Instead, it's a 10-0 Indiana lead. They had all the momentum, a hop and a skip on their sideline. They're excited, the crowd taken out, but trying to get their ducks back into it right now. Vecchio on the quarterback draw, a little room. Comes the linebacker, though, and nice closing speed by Jerry Matson.
Jerry Matson, I'm telling you, Joe, he's a great football player. He's an excellent linebacker. But look at his eyes. I mean, he has that linebacker look. I mean, he sniffed that out so quickly. He's making a drop, making a pass drop. Then he sees Matt trying to run the football, and it's just unbelievable how fast he got to the line of scrimmage.
Football instincts, 3rd and 11 coming up. Now the defense wants the crowd to get into it. They've really only allowed one good play, and that's the touchdown run, the 19-yard run. Indiana sends 3 receivers right and 1 left, trying to spread the field out. Here comes the blitz. Pressure going deep down the field, and it is incomplete, overthrown. Ducks brought a lot of pressure that time. And Indiana will have to punt the football.
Yeah, the Ducks brought a lot of pressure, but they were playing some zone behind it. If you're playing zone, there's one thing Aaron Gibson has to realize: don't get beat deep on his zone coverage. If you're deep third, stay at deep third.
Anthony Newman should know. Those of you joining us on ESPN Game Plan are outside of the state of Oregon. Anthony played for 12 years in the NFL. And punt. And a new returner. It's Terrence Whitehead in this time. He takes it all the way back, and he fumbles the ball. You got to be kidding me. And Indiana has it at the 14-yard line.
Joe, we just talked about Gibson catching the ball with his chest. Well, Terrence Whitehead did the same thing. He caught the ball with the chest. Those shoulder pads, okay, you don't want that football to touch the shoulder pads. They just bounce off like a Super Bowl.
Can you believe this start by the Oregon Ducks?
Well, he's dropping back. He sees the ball well. He lets it come into it. Matter of fact, it goes right through his hands. It goes right through his hands, right into his chest. Once that ball hits your chest, it's gone.
We may see Ryan Gilliam try that. There's some other guys on the team that have been returning punts. We may see Jackie Bates, the freshman, do that. Indiana starting at the 14-yard line, looking to cash in right away. Roby in the corner and out of the end zone. And again, Anthony, the defense on the field, again, having to try and hold on here.
Well, they have to hold on. I mean, if they want to be in this ball game, they have to dig deep and try to hold on. That last play, Aaron Gibson did a great job of holding on. I think the word is, hey, let's try Aaron Gibson, number 5. What can he do? You know, in the past, he's been beat. Well, this time, he played great defense. Was all over Courtney. Great play.
Crowd bringing it again. 2nd and 10. Gonna run the option. Vecchio pitches it to the outside. Tries to get around the corner and does, and steps out of bounds at the 13-yard line. A gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Hoosiers.
Looked like Indiana's trying to run that option play, trying to get the ball to the corners, get to the edge. I'll tell you who made a great play on this thing is Anthony Trucks. He came from sideline to sideline, trying to keep Ben Jarvis from the end zone. Did a great job of slowing him down just enough so the other players can get to the football.
And the crowd in the east end zone comes to their feet. Trying to make it difficult for Vecchio, who uses a timeout. They're going to bring the entire offense over. Can you believe the gifts that Indiana has been handed in this football game?
Gifts. I mean that's when you're catching a punt and you're on 20-yard line, you drop it, give it to them, Joe. That's huge.
Can the defense keep Oregon in the game? We're back to Autzen right after this. Let's pause now for this word from our local stations. Welcome back, everyone. Indiana leading this one 10-0 and threatening again after yet another Oregon mistake. Oregon has fumbled 2 punts. They have been called for a penalty that brought back the opening kickoff that was returned for a touchdown. Kellen Clemens fumbled. Indiana leads at 10-0, and they have a third, and we'll call it 4, from the Oregon 13-yard line. Crowd making a lot of noise. Lavecchio in the shotgun. Here comes the backside blitz to the end zone, and caught! Is it caught? Touchdown, Indiana! The Hoosiers leading Oregon 16-0. Courtney Roby with the touchdown, and now it's worry time, Anthony.
Well, in that situation, number 19, Courtney Roby, is the best player they have on their football team. You have to be smart and say, who do we have on him? They had Anthony Trucks, a linebacker, on Courtney Roby. That's tough to do right there for a linebacker.
Robertson in for the extra point. That kick is up, and it is good. And it is 17-0. And Indiana, that sideline is fired up, Anthony. They have been given everything, every opportunity that you could ever want coming out to the West Coast to play a Pac-10 team, and they've taken advantage of every single one of them.
Well, they've shut this crowd down, but looking at this, it's spread offense. There's no running backs in the backfield, just all receivers. Throw it up to your go-to guy, Courtney Roby. Anthony Trucks tries to make a play. Can't do it.
Great catch by Roby. The ball did hit the ground there at the end. They might be able to see it again here, but I think the catch had already been made at that point. Right there.
Does he have control? Yeah, that's a catch.
Touchdown. That's a great catch by Courtney Roby, who will be Indiana's all-time leading receiver by the time the season is over. And Indiana making a statement here, 17-0 in the first quarter. Anthony, you could not script it any worse for Oregon in the first quarter.
Well, this is adversity. Let's see how Oregon faces adversity. Let's see if they can come back. This is a huge wake-up call that tells you that we play the games. That's the reason why we play the games, because no one knows who's going to really win.
I think that this crowd is just stunned.
Well, the Ducks are stunned. The players, they're stunned also. And Indiana may be stunned, but I tell you what, they're excited about it. They're playing better, and they're going to keep playing smarter, stronger, faster, because now they got a lead, Joe. They feel confident.
Oregon with 3 fumbles in the first quarter, all 17 points coming off those turnovers. All kind of giving the ball to Indiana right around the 20-yard line. And another line drive kickoff, the 4th kickoff of the day for Robertson. This one goes out of the end zone. You can just see the way the Indiana guys are acting down on the field. They're just pumped. Kind of taunting the crowd a little bit, dancing around.
Yeah, they have some pep in their step, Joe. They're excited. You know, they feel confident what they're doing. The coaches are very pleased with the game plan.
I know it's only the first quarter, Anthony. You don't want to make it too much of a critical situation, but I think it is critical for Oregon to score on this drive.
They have to try to do something. They have to try to move the football down the field. If they don't score, Joe, they got to get them backed up. They got to get them inside the 20, 15-yard line so the defense can make a play on that side of the field.
Let's hand the ball on to Terrence Whitehead. He spikes down his feet, fumbles the football, and Indiana has it. This is unbelievable. Indiana with the ball at the 30-yard line. They are going crazy on their sideline. And here comes the defense again. 4 first-quarter fumbles for Oregon.
On that last play, you feel for Terrence Whitehead. The reason why you feel for him, because he was really working hard, Joe, to try to keep moving his legs to get some more yards. I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. Keep pumping your feet, keep moving your legs, but at the same time, you have to protect the football. I mean, he does a nice job of breaking a few tackles, but you got to hold on to the ball.
And this is not meant as a disrespectful comment towards Indiana. They're going crazy, and they're doing a good job. But right now, Oregon is giving them the football game.
Yeah.
Green Ellis breaks a tackle. still working, and a good gain of 8 yards down to the 22-yard line. I don't think anybody in the nation could have expected Oregon to give them the ball 4 times deep in their own territory in the first quarter.
Well, at the same time, Indiana has taken advantage of that opportunity. I mean, they've put 17 points on the board, looking to put some more points on the board here.
It's almost like a bad dream that it's not really happening if you're an Oregon fan. Second and short for LeVecchio. Gonna hand the ball off to Green again, and he cuts back inside and works his way down to the 15-yard line. Anthony, I guess it now, even though it's the first game, you almost wonder if Oregon's defense is getting tired.
Well, they are getting tired. I mean, they've been on the field. I think they've played really 2 quarters. It's only been 1 quarter. They've been backed up. There's a lot of pressure on them at this point.
It's not so much time of possession. It's just that they're not getting a rest.
Right. It's always nice, Joe, to go to the sideline, sit down, get with your coaching staff, talk about what you have to do. But they don't have a chance to do that. They'll get a cup of water, throw it down, get right back on the field again. Indiana
trying to pound away again. Now they're getting some push on the offensive line. Another gain of nearly 5 yards, takes it down to the 11-yard line.
And that's what you just said, Joe, is they're getting a push with that offensive line. They're pushing the defensive line of Oregon back because Oregon's tired. They haven't got any rest.
A shocking turn of events here at Autzen Stadium. And the first quarter is going to drain out right now. We'll switch sides. And Indiana with a 17-point lead. 4 Oregon fumbles. They're threatening again.
Well,
what do you say? It's almost unbelievable.
Well, at this point, Indiana has to take a and say, hey, let's win this football game. We're up 17 points. Let's not let this football team come back on us. They're down. Let's keep them down.
A tough first quarter is over for Oregon as they gather on the sidelines to try to right the ship. Indiana up big, 17-0 here in the first quarter, and looking for more as we go to number 2. Indiana leads at 17-0 here at Autzen Stadium. A miserable first quarter for Oregon. I bet they're just glad it's over, Anthony. 4 fumbles, a kickoff return for a touchdown called back by a penalty. Bad special teams as well.
Well, the first one, Clemens was just trying to make a play, and all of a sudden, boom. Aaron Gibson drops the fumble, the ball hits him in the chest. A sin. Terrence Whitehead, he has a chance. The ball hits him in the chest. You can't do that. You gave them in the light. Terrence Whitehead again, trying to make something happen. He's trying to help his football team, Joe, but he fumbles the football. You have to protect the football.
Also, 2 very short punts have been difficult, and a 2nd and 6 now for Indiana. LeVecchio, there's a flag on the play. Their average field position, starting field position for Indiana, is the 28-yard line. Going in.
Before the snap, false start, offense.
Let's go down to the field with Michael Burke.
All right, Joe, you know, the problems that Oregon is having on the special teams units is really just a continuation of fall camp. We haven't seen Jared Siegel yet, but he struggled during August. And then Paul Martinez, just a few moments ago, shanked a punt off the side of his foot. And Mike Bellotti told us during yesterday's walkthrough that he could, in fact, and will, in fact, go to a platoon of punters today. And Martinez may have taken himself out of that rotation.
So Indiana now backs it up after the motion penalty. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Hoosiers. I think this is a critical moment in this football game. Indiana can really go a long way to winning the game with a score. They're not trying to keep in it. LeVecchio looking for the option, turns it up. Good pursuit, and they'll pick up a couple of yards. But Anthony, am I overstating it? I know it's early, but if Indiana goes up here 24-0, it's going to be difficult for Oregon to win this football game.
It's a huge hole they got to try to dig themselves out of, and you're right. I mean, but yet there is a lot of time left. There's 3 quarters left in the game. There's time to do some things. Oregon on offense hasn't played bad. They've just given up the football. They're moving the football. You know, in a normal situation, they could be moving that football all the way down the field and score some points. They haven't had an opportunity because they turned the ball over.
3rd and 9, a big play coming up here. Crowd trying to get into it, but I think they're so stunned and disappointed by the start, having a hard time. LeVecchio, back to throw, looking over the middle. Roby's open, and he does not get it. almost able to corral it. Anthony, you saw that coming. You were going crazy up here in the booth. You saw it coming, didn't you?
I saw it coming. Number 19, he was isolated by himself on a corner. He's the go-to guy, Joe. You have to put somebody, double him. Go ahead and double him. Make them beat you with somebody else. Matt is looking for number 19 to get open. Even though you have Justin Finney in coverage, still, give him some help. There's no safety back there to help him out at all. Tough situation for Justin Finney.
Just thrown a little bit too far, and Robertson in to try the field goal. It will be a 31-yard attempt from the right half. And the kick is up, and it is good. So again, Indiana takes advantage of an Oregon mistake. 20 points off 4 Oregon turnovers, and if it wasn't for the defense, Anthony, it could be 28 nothing right now.
Well, the question is, when do those turnovers stop? Okay, when is Oregon going to stop turning the ball over? Is it now? Is that the last turnover of the game? But now they're down 20 points. They just spotted Indiana 20 points. Don't know if there's enough time, even those 3 quarters, to come back from that.
There's Coach Bellotti. Not too panicked yet, but Indiana with a 20-point lead. I don't think you could never imagine a start like this.
Well, one thing you said about Bellotti, he's not going to panic. And you're right about that. He's not going to panic in these situations. There's a lot of time left on the clock. He's trying to get his team gathered around and say, hey, let's keep pushing. Let's keep driving. We're making mistakes that happened in the first games, but right now it's hurting us. Let's come back from those mistakes.
Now, if you're an Indiana fan, and I know there's some of you out there watching on ESPN Game Plan and around the country, you're feeling like, hey, now all we got to do is just hold on, run the football, see if we can work some clock here. You can't anticipate you're going to keep getting those kinds of mistakes, but you got a 20-point lead. You feel like you can win the game.
Well, if I was Indiana, Ben Jarvis would be touching the ball every down. He's a big running back. He's a bruiser. I'd keep giving him the football.
Indiana now to kick the football. There's Ryan Shaw back along with Kenny Washington now. And this kickoff will be into the wind, and it's a little pooch kick, looking for a little extra play, and this one is caught and hit hard. And a big tackle comes in. And now the fans with kind of a mock cheer that Oregon actually caught a kick.
They're happy. I think their turnovers might stop, Joe. Is that it? And he's a linebacker catching the ball. Justin Andrews, he's a linebacker.
They're saying, hey, Justin, call for a fair catch in case you don't get blasted like that last one.
That's inexperience. He didn't understand the situation at that point. Robin Ross, the specialty coach, walked over to him and said, hey, fair catch that football.
You see Kellen Clemens like, come on. Tim Day in the football game as well. There's Robin Ross, who's going to have a nightmarish night tonight, Anthony, going through the game tape. He is a great guy, and he's a great coach. I mean, what can you do when you guys are dropping the ball? And Oregon comes out with a 1st and 10 now from the 32. Clemens goes back to throw. The screen pass, Whitehead has a blocker, has the root. Gets out to the 39-yard line, a gain of about 7. Killian with the tackle. He had 10 last week in their win over Central Michigan.
Kyle, the linebacker for Indiana, is a very active linebacker. He makes a great tackle one-on-one against a good running back, Terrence Whitehead. But that play right there, Joe, is a safe play. It's a screen. Try to get some positive yards, and they did that.
2nd and short now, and Clemens can go back and throw. Goes to the outside. It's caught, and a nice move by Maxwell to get the 1st down. He keeps moving across the 45.
Well, the last quarter, Joe, they were moving the football. They were doing some good plays. I mean, they're still doing those good plays. But the turnovers are just killing them right now.
Ducks have yet to go deep in this football game. We'll see if they try to spring one here.
And I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised they haven't taken advantage of the corners for Indiana.
Trying to work the outsides right now. Once again, Tim Day in the football game. Darren Strong is on the near side. Clemens going to change the play now at the line of scrimmage. There's 7 on the play clock. Going to go back and throw it. A lot of protection. Goes down the field and got a man out to the 41-yard line. And Maxwell had it there. The ball came loose, but looks like he was down. Let's go down to Mike Burke for some injury information. Mike?
Done for this football game unless he makes a miraculous recovery at halftime. Send it back to you.
I know he had some audio there. It's Justin Finnessy. Looks like he may be gone. And a audio glitch there, but looks like Justin Finnessy may be out for the football game. We'll continue to follow that story. Clemens back to throw. A lot of time now. And now he just throws it away. So Ducks will have to call on some of the young corners. And we'll talk more about that as Oregon gets going to defense. We'll put Mike to work to find more out about that.
Well, if he is hurt, that's going to be a pretty good loss for the Ducks defense. He's a man back there. Justin Finnessy is a guy that's played great. I think he's a safety playing corner. He's an aggressive type guy, and he's a positive for that defense. If he's out, some other people have to step up.
2nd and 10 now. Clemens again making the call at the line of scrimmage as he looks over the Indiana defense. 3-step drop, little slant, caught out to the 32-yard line. Garen Strong with the catch and very close to a first down. Looks to be about a yard short. That'll set up a 3rd and 1.
There's a guy I'm looking for. But what Clemens is seeing, Joe, is that Indiana's playing a man defense. When you play a man defense, you want those receivers or give those receivers an opportunity to get inside. So it's a simple slant pattern. Garen Strong's a big receiver, 6'3", 6'4". Oh, no, he's about 6'1", but I think he's about tall. I think he's 6'2". He was towering over me at one of the practices, but a good quality receiver.
Ducks with a double tight set. Indiana crowding the line. High formation. Clemens going to hand the ball off, looking for some space. Whitehead tries to move forward. Let's see where the forward progress. It's going to be very close. Very close. Let's see where they mark it. Anthony, I think it's going to be a little short where they're going to mark the football. Well, it is.
If it's short, I'd still go for it, Joe. Let me go ahead, run the football, run at him. I think Oregon's confident in that offensive line that they can get a couple inches. I think it's only, they may be short 2 or 3 inches.
I'm not so sure they got a very good spot, but it's clearly going to be short by as much as maybe even a half a yard. There you see it. And I don't know that they have any other choice here, Anthony.
No, they have to
pound forward. I mean, Dante Rosario is a good option.
They have to go for it. This right here, if they get the first down, may give them some light. Indiana, if they stop him, it's going to be huge for that program.
Ryan Lofton is in the game as well. And the play clock starts, and a big 4th down coming up for the Ducks. 4th and about a half a yard.
The Oregon offensive linemen, Joe, have to dig deep on this particular play. They have to get this first down.
And now it looks like Indiana may want a timeout. Let's take a look and see what has happened. Indiana has used a timeout. Their second timeout of the first half with 11:11 to go here. And looks like some rain starting to move towards the area. It's been threatening all day.
I think that timeout, Joe, was smart by Coach DiNardo. I mean, he has to take this opportunity and try to run with it. If they stop Oregon getting a first down, it's going to be huge for their program. Now, if they don't stop them, they still got to try to regroup and keep them out of the end zone.
Hey fans, here's your chance to get on to the UCLA game, which will be here at Autzen Stadium in November. By Pepsi and Dairy Mart, they're teaming up to get you to the game. The winner receives 2 tickets, parking at the stadium, hotel here in Eugene, dinner for 2 at the Axe Billy Grill on the 3rd floor of the Downtown Athletic Club in Eugene, and great duck gear. Head to your local Dairy Mart and sign up today. Big play coming up here. 4th and 1.
Just the size of Oregon linemen, you know, they're all over 300 pounds, Joe. I mean, they should be able to push that Indiana defensive line back for about a yard.
A lot of men inside the box right now. Lofton in motion. Clemens going to throw it on 4th down, and it's tipped and knocked down, and Oregon gives the ball away. A 4th and a half a yard. They look for Rosario through the air.
He was open. He was open.
And a promising drive ends on 4th down. Oregon with 2 plays to pick up a yard, not able to get it done.
Well, then you have to tip your hat off to that Indiana defense of somebody making a play. And that's all that is, Joe. Making plays on the football field. Coaches coach, players play. These players are making plays on this football field.
Jake Powers making the play for the Indiana defense. And they'll hand the ball off up the middle, going with some fresh legs for the Hoosiers. Chris Taylor on the carry. So Indiana trying to get a few fresh legs in there, but a good gain of about 6 yards, setting up a 2nd down and 4. This is a freshman from the West Coast here at East Palo Alto, down near Stanford, right next to the Bay in California.
He is another big running back. It showed he weighed 297. I don't think he weighed 297, but I tell you what, he is a big running back. He weighs about 225, and they're going to keep giving the ball to him to control the clock at this point.
Lavecchio in the shotgun, going to hand it off on the inside, and a hole and a 1st down for Indiana.
This is what you do as an offensive unit. That defense is tired. They haven't got any rest. They're on the field quite a bit. You bring in some big backs, you bring in another tight end, and you keep pushing the pile, pushing that ball down the field.
Marcus Binns has replaced Justin Finnessy on the field. You see him there on the left side, kind of in motion with the man there as they go back to the running game, and gain of a couple of yards, and a flag comes out. I think they might get Devin Long for a face mask. Finnessy did pull his hamstring. He is out for the day. That is the injury on Finnessy. And there's a look at Marcus Binns, Anthony, who did not practice a lot, as we look down to the field to see what the call is.
Personal foul, grabbing face mask, defense, number 92, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's a big one, 15 big ones, and just like that, Indiana's threatening again the 39-yard line. Ducks not able to convert on 4th and 1.
Well, you know, Oregon keeps putting pressure on this defensive unit. And this defensive unit, they've been trying to play well. They're trying to play hard. But in time, okay, they're going to get tired, and they're going to give up some big plays here pretty soon if they don't make any stops here real quick.
There's Lavecchio. And Jones slips down. Some good pressure by the defensive line. It'll be a loss of a yard or 2. And I know it's early, Anthony. It's a 20-point lead, 9:39 to go here in the 2nd quarter, but I think even being down 20-0, it's only natural to look at the clock. And it's ticking, and it's talking, and it's moving. And Oregon's in a little bit of trouble right here in the early going.
Well, they are looking at the clock. They're paying attention to it, knowing that somebody has to make a big play. On the defense, they need to get some turnovers, Joe. They need to try to get their offense back on the field.
2nd down and 12 for the Hoosiers, and Lavecchio going to hand the ball off on the inside. A pretty good hole for Ellis, and he keeps working his way to the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 7, 3rd and a long 7 from there.
Now this is a huge stop for this Oregon defense. And they need to get off the field. They can't have that offense, Indiana's offense, moving those chains. They have to get off the field, make a nice stop, play smart, get everybody to the football, and make good tackles.
Fullback John Pinozo comes back in the game for the Hoosiers. Primarily used as a blocker, but he does still catch a few balls out of the backfield. Courtney Roby is split, and he's on Marcus Binns right now, the bottom of your screen. Lavecchio looking his way. Now he's flushed out, and he's going to try and run. Close to the 1st down. He's got it, and more room to the 20 and out of bounds.
That's bad tackling. He broke about 3 tackles. They had him, I think, behind the line of scrimmage. Then they had him at the line of scrimmage, and then maybe about 5 yards down the field. There's 1, there's 2, I think there's 1 more. Now, when you look at those tackles, Joe, these guys are not the Ducks. They're not bringing their feet, their legs. Okay, they're lunging, they're diving. You have to bring your legs to tackle. You can't dive at people.
8:17 to go here in the second quarter. Hoosiers threatening yet again. Threatening to turn this into a blowout. Jones takes it to the 19-yard line of scrimmage, so it'll be second down and 10. I know that sounds crazy, Anthony, but they score a touchdown here and go up 27-0. You're on the way to a blowout unless Oregon can do something to get themselves started in this football game. They need a spark.
Well, with Oregon's offense, they have the ability to score points quick. I mean, but I'm surprised again that they haven't taken some deep shots against Indiana's defense. I mean, you're down 20 points. Go ahead and take a few shots down the field. They haven't done that on offense yet.
And LeVecchio will use another timeout, their third and final timeout here in the first half. Wants to talk about it with Coach DiNardo. Everything going Indiana's way here at Autzen Stadium, looking for more. All right, welcome back, everyone. Indiana leading at 20-0. Welcome to all the fans in the Midwest watching us on ESPN Game Plan. Your team is playing great football. It's their largest lead on the road since a 32-0 lead at Wisconsin on November 6th in 2001. LeVecchio to throw, looking towards Roby to the corner. Vin's on the coverage and just thrown too far and out of bounds. Anthony, we talked about it during the break. They're going to right it.
You're right. You're right. And Benz did a great job in coverage. A lot of times in the past, Benz would panic when somebody got behind him. Benz didn't panic. He kept his eyes on the receiver and ran to the receiver. You have to catch the receiver first, Joe, before you can look back. And that's what Benz did.
Now whistle's blowing. Let's see what that's all about. I'm going to go talk over to the area. I think they want to maybe move some of the equipment that's down in that corner of the end zone. Let's go down to Michael Burke and see what's going on.
Yeah, Joe, after the ball came over here on the fade route, and they are moving this piece of equipment here. Looks to be some sort of television cart or something that the band leader would use, but it is being wheeled off the field right now. And a good thing, because those two players almost ran square into it. Back to you.
Of course, we had that incident a couple years ago where the Oregon band had the famous propane tank player, where they had propane tanks hanging and they hit them and gong them, and players ran into those. So
those type of equipment, that doesn't need to be on the field. I mean, not at all.
No. Third and 10. The rain just starting to come down at Autzen Stadium. The noise coming in as well. Oregon needs to stop LeVecchio in the shotgun. Play over to Jones, and he takes it to the 15-yard line. They'll mark it actually at the 16-yard line. Chris Taylor actually on the catch. Taylor takes it out, marked at the 14-yard line, and Indiana will run the field goal unit on again.
Well, this is kind of a positive for both teams. Indiana was in a scoring position to put 7 points on the board. If they don't score 7 points, which they're not going to, they kick a field goal, hey, they got 3 points out of it. Oregon did a good job of keeping them out of the end zone, Joe.
Ryan Robertson getting a big workout here in the early going of this football game. His third attempt, this one's a 31-yarder. He's already made one 31-yarder. This one is up, and it is good. He's been perfect, and he'll go back and kick it out. His leg may get sore by halftime.
He's getting a workout, that's for sure.
That was Indiana's best drive. 54 yards on that drive, Anthony.
Yeah, well, they started out, Joe, running the football.
23-0, and their fans, I think we were noticing during the break, Anthony, I think they're in shock.
They are in shock, and they're very, very happy right now that their team is winning 23-0, and no one gave them a chance. You know, the only people that gave themselves a chance is Indiana, the football team.
They've taken care of the football. They've taken advantage of every opportunity that Oregon has given them. 4 fumbles and a incomplete pass on 4th and a half a yard, and they took that, marched it right down. Anytime the ball's changed possession, for whatever reason, they've taken advantage of it. You got to give all the credit in the world to them.
Yes, you do.
Oregon, you think they're going to be able to wake up and get it going, but as you keep waiting, time keeps going by. Now down to 7:28 to go here in the second quarter. Carl's Jr. scoring drive, 10 plays, 54 yards. Robertson, the field goal was good. And another little pooch kick Coming up to take it at the 25-yard line is Kenny Washington, dancing around, still on his feet, now looking to make a play. 35 to the 37-yard line.
Kenny Washington on the return.
So Oregon with good starting field position.
And that's funny how on that particular play, Kenny Washington moved up in the halfback position. Robin Ross, the special team coach, was smart to move one of those top players. Instead of putting Justin Andrews, the linebacker, back there, he puts Kenny Washington up there.
Indiana's defense coming up with a lot of big plays against the run, doing a good job, and pass coverage, making big plays, Anthony, when they have to. They're showing up to play.
That's the exact right. They're stepping up. They're coming up. They're making plays. They're not just playing a football game, Joe. They're making plays, and that's what you have to do to beat good football teams. Make plays.
And Oregon going with Dennis Dixon at quarterback. Kellen Clemens has gone to the bench. Dennis Dixon getting a chance, and he's going to go back and throw and run on the first down. To the 40, puts his head down, and he'll pick up just a couple of yards to the 41-yard line. So I think this is one of the big surprises of the football game. We thought we would see Dennis Dixon at some point, but we didn't think it would be in this kind of a situation, down 23-0 in the first half.
Right, this is no knock on Clemens. Clemens is doing a fine job. Everything's okay. They want to put Dixon in the game to see what he can do. Now, this is a tough situation for Dixon to come into the game, and he's down by 23.
Clemens is 11 of 15 for just under 100 yards. No interceptions. He does have the one fumble. Dixon going to run the option. And cuts it back up. Nowhere to go. Stretches the ball out. And it looks like he lost it. They're going to say the ball came down. And ball is down. 3rd and long now coming up for Dixon. And he's going to have to probably throw the ball here.
Well, I know Malati is waiting for Dixon to come to the sideline and say, young man, don't stick the ball forward. Just go down. If you're going to go down, go down. He's trying to stick that ball out forward. You have to protect the football.
Demetrius Williams and Garen Strong come to the near side. And Dixon, the quarterback, goes back to throw. A little slant play, and it's going too far for Garen Strong. And it's a quick 3-and-out for Dennis Dixon. And the crowd did not like that changeup.
Well, that's a tough situation to put Dennis Dixon in. To come in, you're down by 23. You want, at this point, you want to see Oregon do something positive on offense. I think I'd keep Clemens in the game. Clemens didn't play bad. I know they want to put Dixon in the game to do something, but at this point, keep Clemens in the game.
David Dittman will now be the punter after Paul Martinez had a couple of tough ones. Here comes the rush, and Dittman kind of gets it off, and it's kind of wobbling, and it's taken at the 23-yard line and down there, and Indiana will start at the 23 with 5:45 to go here in the first half. And this is about as far back as Indiana's had to start with the football.
Well, it's special teams. People forget about how huge special teams are in football. You know, they think the offense, the defense, making touchdowns on offense, making interceptions on defense. No, special teams, the punting game, the kicking game.
You almost feel like Oregon has to get on the scoreboard in any form or fashion before halftime. They better, or their fans might not come back for the second half. Fans trying to keep the Ducks in this game. Big run over the middle. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis picks up 10 yards. And it'll be very close to a first down. And it will be a first down.
This game plan for Indiana, you know, their game plan was to run the football. Well, now the score fits right into their hands, Joe, where they can just hand the ball off, time in and time out. Let's keep giving it to our running backs.
1st and 10 for the Hoosiers. They'll run it again. Another nice hole, and good play by the Oregon secondary, cheating up a little bit on the run. Gain of about 3 yards for Ellis, Green Ellis, I should say. And tick-tock, tick-tock. The clock moves towards 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
As a defensive unit, you know they're going to run the football. This is the time to try to work for that strip. Try to get that ball out. When one guy's holding them up, another guy comes in there and tries to strip the football. You're trying to create something here. Because right now, Joe, they seem dead.
Ducks looking for someone to give them a spark. Anything. Turnover, a big hit. Second down and 7. He's just going to run it again. Little crease in there. Ellis takes it across the 40 to the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2 from there.
The offensive line for Indiana is doing a great job of creating some seams and some holes for their running back. You have to give a lot of credit. Everybody, I know the fans keep talking about, where's the defense? What's going on with the Oregon football team? No, I'll tell you what, this Indiana offense and that offensive line is doing a great job of blocking.
And the rain starts to come down at Autzen Stadium. You can see it just moving in, getting grayer and grayer as we continue. Fans putting their parkas on. And Ben Jarvis Green Ellis held up on 3rd and short. Ducks going to get another chance with the football here before the end of the first half. This would be a pretty good spot, though, for a fake punt. And the Oregon coaches are saying, hey, just play your regular defense here, except for Aaron Gibson will drop back.
Well, I tell you what, who came through on this? Haloti Ngata. If you run towards Haloti Ngata, okay, he's going to do some damage. And that's a guy right now stepping up, making a play.
Of course, the rain coming down here on Haloti Ngata and the rest of the Oregon Ducks won't make it any easier to try to come back in this football game. So the Hoosiers will punt the football, and for the 3rd time today, this one's going to hit and be taken by Gibson, and he's hit hard at the 25-yard line. And it's a good thing he took it. It might have gone all the way down to the 2-yard line. So Oregon starting at the 25, 3:03 to go, trying to get on the scoreboard, trailing 23-0 in the rain at Autzen Stadium. Welcome back, everyone, to Autzen Stadium. Capacity crowd stunned, except for about 500 Indiana fans. They're happy to see their team up 23-0 in just a nightmarish first half for the Oregon Ducks. Kellen Clemenceau going to come back on the field, Anthony, after seeing Dennis Dixon. I think the coach is just looking for some sort of a spark, probably.
Well, yeah, they're looking for a spark, but you have to look for your main guy to give a spark. Number 11, he's the one who's going to give a team the spark. And, you know, by putting Dixon in, hey, I want to see the young guy get some playing time. But right now, you know, you're down 23-0. Let Clemens do his work. Let him face adversity, Joe, and come back from adversity.
It's going to take a great effort for Oregon to try and get back and win this football game. Clemens back to throw, looks over the middle. It's tipped and almost intercepted. Looking for Garen Strong. Of course, last year, Clemens, when he started out, he got off to a great start in that first game. Remember this, Anthony?
Well, thing about it, Joe, they're taking some shots. I mean, look at this game. That's a 60-yard pass right there. And we haven't seen that in this game yet. You know, here's another one. He scrambles a little bit. He throws the ball another 50 yards down the field. That is what I'm looking for from Clemens and his offense today.
We've seen a lot of short outs and trying to go down the field a little bit there. Clemens to throw, now facing a little pressure. Going to try and run it. Hit at the 30 and goes down there. It'll be 3rd and about 5 for Clemens.
Now, I also have to state, Joe, that at the same time Clemens is dropping back, there's not a lot of time for him to throw a deep pass. I mean, that pocket is collapsing pretty quick. Right when he takes a 7-step or 5-step drop, he has to run for his life. So the offensive line for Oregon has to do a little bit better job of giving him more time.
3rd and 5, Clemens. Little short drop over the middle, and it almost intercepted. Probably should have been. Will Lumpkin just sat on that ball. He knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah.
Just couldn't hold on to it.
It's almost, looking at Oregon, they're predictable. You know what they're going to run. Slant. Let's run a slant. Clemens is eyeballing it. He's eyeballing the receiver, and the safety got a great jump on the ball.
And even if Lumpkin wouldn't have been there, it was into the ground. So. Yeah. David Dittman to punt now. And nobody is... Well, let's see what happened here. Indiana, I think, tried to call a timeout, but they don't have a timeout. Let's see what the call is here. Indiana did not have anybody out on the wide receiver. And they tried to call a timeout, and they do not have one.
Yeah, it's 1st down for Oregon.
They were not aligned. They'll reset the clock. Let's see what the official's going to do here. But the Oregon offense getting ready to come back on the field. That's a huge break, Anthony.
Well, they didn't have a guy down here on the Oregon's gunner. A gunner is the guy on the outside down there by the numbers. He's out there by himself. There was nowhere covering him. If Oregon would have snapped the ball, Joe, they could have threw the ball to him.
Now they're bringing both teams back on the field. They've spotted the ball back down. So the referee wants the teams to come back on the field, but Indiana tried to call a timeout. They do not have a timeout left. And that's going to send Mike Bellotti through the roof. Indiana has brought their defense and their punt return team back on the field, and Oregon's going to have to punt the football. So that's a gigantic break again for Indiana. They had nobody on the gunner. They called a timeout. The referees blew the whistle, which should have been a penalty. And instead, they just mark it back down, say, doesn't matter, Oregon back in to punt the football. We'll have to get a clarification on that as Dittman sends this one. Fair catch called for and caught at the 32-yard line. And I think Mike Bellotti is still wanting a better explanation about what happened there.
Well, I am too. I mean, they were calling a timeout, Joe. They didn't have any timeouts left.
And I think what they're saying is that the officials gave them, it was the officials' fault for stopping the play and giving them the timeout when they shouldn't have, because they don't have one.
Now you look to the bottom of your screen, there's no one out there.
There's the timeout. You see him turning around. Then the official says, okay, I'll give you the timeout. Which is another horrible break for Oregon, because they're either going to get the first down on the play or they're going to get the penalty on calling the timeout. Basically, what we're hearing is not a penalty because they don't have a timeout, so it goes down as an inadvertent whistle by the official who should have known that they had no timeouts left.
Right.
And they only had 10 people on the field. Can it get any worse for Oregon, Anthony? Can anything else go wrong?
Well, we have another half to go, so we're going to see if the turnovers have stopped and the bad plays. The ball is just bouncing in Indiana's direction.
Second down and call it 8 yards. Oregon still with their timeouts in case they decided they wanted to use them. Green Ellis slips down, and now we'll see if Oregon wants to use their timeout and get the ball back. Or try to get the ball back, or if they just want to get onto the locker room. No,
I try to get the ball back. I mean, a minute 19, Joe. There's some time to do something. Try to get a field goal, or try to throw a pass, a deep pass.
And the wind is really blowing and the rain's coming, so at least you'd think they would want to force them to try to punt the football in these conditions right now.
Second quarter, California 12, New Mexico 7.
You can see the flags there. The American flag in the west end is really whipping right now. There you see it. And that's blowing right into the faces of the Indiana Hoosiers offense. Of course, at half-staff today, in commemoration of September 11th, 3 years ago. I think that's on everybody's mind today. .119 to go. And they'll reset the clock to 121.
Joe, in this situation also you want to stop Indiana, because if they're going to punt the ball, I'd come after them. Send the house. Try to block this football.
Well, you got to make something happen. You need some sort of a spark, something exciting to happen. Try to get a little momentum going in to halftime. And still, the game is not out of reach yet.
No, not at all.
But it's been a very, very disappointing first half for the Oregon Ducks to this point. Rebecchio on the quarterback draw. It's blocked well, and he goes down at the 40-yard line. They'll be short of the first down by a couple of yards. And Oregon will use another timeout with 1:12 to go, so they'll either force Indiana to punt, fake, or who knows, maybe they'll go for it.
Well, I think this was a design play for Matt just to run the football, try to get the first down. If you can't get the first down, he's taking some time off the clock.
Boy, Mike Bellotti, I imagine if he's already working on his halftime speech.
Oh.
He's still talking about the timeout. That's just these officials, Anthony, are veteran officials. They get paid a lot of money to come and officiate the games. And you know, it's one thing to you know, slip and fall, miss a call. But when you make a mistake like that, that's not just missing something that you see or you thought you saw. That's just not knowing where you are in the game.
Right, and especially when they have time to gather and talk about the situation. They were talking about the situation and what happened.
Ducks load up on the right side. Here they come. The punt is away. Gibson's back to return it, and it goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So Oregon's going to have a minute 6 here to try and get some points on the board.
Well, they're going to start working that 2-minute offense.
Not seen a lot of shotgun yet either, Anthony.
No, not a lot of shotgun. You know, that 2-minute offense, Oregon does a lot of that in practice. And now this is an opportunity to show that 2-minute offense. They've done it well in the past.
Matter of fact, Oregon does that to start practice every day.
Yeah.
Up and down the field, first team, second team, working on a little 2-minute drill every single practice. And Clemens comes out. Ducks trailing at 23-0. Trying to get something going here with a minute 6 left in the second quarter. Clemens going to go back and throw. A lot of time, now breaks down, he's hit and drops. And that's a coverage sack, Anthony.
Yes, it is. That's a coverage sack. The defensive backs for Indiana did a great job getting down the field. They're playing a 2-deep zone. They're getting a lot of depth. They don't want to get beat deep. Clemens had nowhere to throw the football.
Loss of 1. I'm not sure why the clock is stopped. Now they acknowledge that Oregon has taken a timeout. That could have been the only reason for it. And they just used the timeout to set the play up. They're not even going to go to their sideline. They break their huddle. And we'll see whether or not Indiana wants to use the rest of the timeout. They'll just let them play. Certainly no need for a TV timeout in this situation. We're taking it. And Gordon Reese, the official, making sure everybody's on the same page. And I'm going to check with the back judge to see if he knows how many timeouts are left in the half here. Oregon with no timeouts left. Indiana hollering defense from their sideline. Clemens back to throw. Throws it over the middle, and it's caught by Williams at the 50. Breaks the tackle, now he stays it down. At the 40-yard line, and now Oregon with a little bit of life.
Well, Joe, right before that play, you're right, that sideline for Indiana was yelling defense. But right there, number 6, Demetrius Williams, he's a guy who is dangerous with the ball. Right there is the catch, you know, and then it's the run. What did he do after he caught the ball? He got some more yards. Huge play for the Ducks.
Certainly that entire Indiana team knows how big a win this would be for their program. Yes. If they could come in here and win, it would be one of the biggest wins in the last 5 years for this program. So if they think about trying to hold on, it might get difficult, but right now they're doing a great job. Clemens rolling, good protection, looking downfield. He's got a man, but can't quite get it to Garen Strong. Had his hands on it, but he couldn't bring it in.
I know Clemens wants that pass back. He wants to throw that ball a little harder. Garen Strong ran a nice pattern. Clemens just makes a nice throw, but it's just not far enough.
41 seconds to go. Ball is at the 39-yard line. Second 10. We'll see if Oregon takes a shot at the end zone. Maxwell and Demetrius Williams split to the top. Garen Strong down low. Clemens on a little half roll. Now here comes the pressure. Stepping up, looking downfield. Now he's just going to try and run it, and he gets out of bounds. Looking for a clock stoppage, and he gets it with 33 seconds.
One thing I was watching the receivers, Joe, downfield. When that quarterback needs to start scrambling, these receivers need to work on getting open downfield. Clemens is running for his life. He's still looking downfield. He's still alive. The receivers need to come back in his direction. All the receivers were running the other way.
Paul Chesney does a good job tracking Clemens down for the tackle. Big third down here at the 35. Kind of a no man's land, be a real long field goal, but there is a wind at Oregon's back right now. Tim Day switches to the right side of the offensive line. Clemens looking deep. Now he's got to scramble, and he's going to go down. So forget the field goal. Now they'll have to try and line up and go for it on 4th down. Down to 20 seconds.
This defensive line, Joe, is doing a great job from Indiana of getting to the quarterback, getting to Clemens.
Down to 13 seconds on the clock. Trying to get a play run so they can get another chance to run it if they get the first down, but they're not going to. Down to 5 seconds, 4, 3. They're going to get one last play off, and Clemens going to go back to throw it. Goes down to Williams, and he's not able to come up with it in a first half, a nightmarish first half. And look at the Indiana players run off the field, pumped up as they sprint to their locker room.
They're sprinting to the locker room and pointing at their fans.
Look at that.
Very confident, very proud of what they're doing. You got to give it to them, Joe. They're playing good football right now.
And Oregon goes to the locker room shocked and stunned by what's occurred here in the first half. Everything that has gone wrong, Anthony, has gone wrong. And Oregon trails at 23-0. Let's go down to Mike Burke with Coach Bellotti.
All right, Coach, I think that opening kickoff return, which was nullified by the penalty, really sucked a lot of life out of your team. Is that fair?
No, that didn't do anything. What did it was the 4 turnovers and not taking advantage of field position. We're having one of those nightmare games. You have in the first game, you fumble offense and you fumble on special teams. You put your defense in a heck of a hole. And having said that, I think our defense is actually playing okay. We just have to regroup and get those things and hopefully play the best second half football we can.
Will you harp on the turnovers at halftime or focus on something a little more positive?
I've already talked about the turnovers. I think about what we need to do to win the game.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Joe, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Of course, Coach Bellotti not very happy, but there's no question that opening kickoff did set the tone. Oregon returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, but it came back on a penalty. And from that point on, it was tough going for the Ducks. See if they can get back in this one in the second half. Some halftime festivities for you coming up next here on the Oregon Sports Network. Welcome back to Autzen Stadium, everyone. It's not a misprint. As the rain comes down, Indiana leads at 23-0 over the Oregon Ducks, who have suffered through 4 fumbles, shanked punts, penalties that have nullified touchdowns, not able to make a 4th and short. You can go on and on, Anthony. It's been a tough go so far.
Well, this is a nightmare for the Ducks, and it's a dream come true for Indiana. I mean, they're playing some good football. You know, they didn't know that they're going to come into the game and have 23 points at halftime.
They're pumped, no question about it. For Oregon, of course, the offensive line is going to be called on in the second half with the rain coming down to try and get things going. You know, those guys are called the big uglies, but this group, not so ugly.
They're the unsung heroes of the Oregon football team. Far from the headlines, distanced from the top stories, they go about their business never seeking recognition, and that's exactly the way Coach Neil Zumbukis likes it.
When they get a lot of publicity, it tends to make them think that they are singularly more important than they are. An offensive line has to be a unit. They have to always work together.
But in a rare moment, the O-line finally got some recognition, and the coach cringed.
Absolutely not. As I said, there's a grumpy old Greek guy that wishes it never happened.
A photo shoot for the new Oregon billboards was the occasion, and the offensive line, the new media darling.
And we got to get a little bit of love sometimes, too.
It's kind of nice, though. It's kind of nice. I'm not going to lie.
He doesn't like that.
I don't think he likes it. Coach Zoom doesn't like it.
He kind of cringes when he sees stuff like that going on, but that's just Zoom. I think behind the doors he's happy. I think he's got to play that tough role.
Either the entire group, and that means everybody from top to bottom, gets the recognition, or they get no recognition at all. To recognize an individual does not do justice to the group.
Which is why Zoomer's favorite phrase this year is no sugar.
Coach Jones said no sugar, which means, he doesn't want us, getting any publicity.
Zoom, you're right. He always says no sugar. Doesn't really, want any of us to get big heads or get pubbed like, some receivers and running backs do. He's going to try not to, or give us sugar, like he said. I think, being playing O-line and being an O-lineman, you know, when you step on the field, you know, there's a certain attitude you have to have, a certain persona that you have to, you know, take with you out there. And I really, you know, that doesn't coincide well with billboard shoots and the pretty boy stuff.
And so while we're on that subject,
best chance to be a male model, I would have to say Mike DeLagrange.
I think he's got the last chance.
I don't know, maybe a plus size model.
I'd have to go with Robin Knievel.
You said me? He's just playing. He thinks he's the prettiest guy. Not in the line, but probably on the field.
If you think we're good-looking guys, I'm not gonna, you know, deny that. Sean Flanagan. He's got great teeth.
None of them. They go back 25 years. There isn't a single one of them that ever could pass for a fashion model.
which is good news for Duck fans. Snyder, Stites, Knievel, and DeLagrange boast 73 career starts, and together form a solid foundation for this year's run to the Rose Bowl.
We hang out a lot, especially outside football. I think that is huge. We know each other on and off the field, which I think makes us that much better on the field. So just hanging out with each other over the last 5 years just makes us a real strong group.
And those leaders are really going to have to step up for Oregon in the second half if they're going to win this football game, trailing 23-0. It never rains at Autzen Stadium. Well, almost never. Indiana leads it 23-0 here at halftime. Back with more right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Indiana leading at 23-0 at halftime. You probably had to, if you're an Oregon fan, take a walk around the block just to calm down after that first half. Obviously, Indiana very prepared to come in here and play. They've taken advantage of virtually every Oregon mistake here today, Anthony.
Well, the mistakes are killing the Ducks. They're shooting themselves in the foot. They're not giving themselves a chance. But on the other hand, Indiana is taking opportunities, and they're taking those opportunities and doing something with those opportunities by putting 23 points on the board, Joe.
It's been a tough go. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the first half highlights from this football game. And Oregon just